Hello, my name's Artemis, and I try to be a cute, good, fluffy doggo who just gives you all advice, and I'm a really good person. Or am I? You don't know that. I could be anybody. I could have any intention. I am just a character portrayed on the internet, and that is a very dangerous thing because I can pretend to be whatever I want, even if it's not the truth. And you might be wondering, oh, why is he saying this sort of thing? Why is this relevant? Well, seems like a lot of people online and personas that people like have turned out to be pieces of shit, who are abusive, who are dangerous, who are even just the worst people you could imagine. And you didn't know that until it was too late. And I feel like we're all kind of forgetting this level of objectivity here, and I thought it's time to make a video on this, because you don't know shit about the people you see online. All you know is what they tell you. And you choose to believe it, and sometimes you really shouldn't. Let's get into that. So something that I'm sure everybody is aware of, but we don't seem to keep in our thought processes as much as perhaps we should, is that everything you see online about a person is something that they're choosing to show you. It is something that is managed, that is thought about, that is contained, that is edited. For instance, if I fuck up a line, I cut that out, and you don't see that it happened. That's just a normal part of the process. But that goes much deeper. If someone else has a history of using racial slurs, or being misogynistic, or being a bully, they're gonna edit that out, aren't they? Because they're putting on a character. Everything you see is a performance. It might as well be scripted. And we all kind of forget that. We all look at these videos and look at these people and assume that what we're getting is the full picture. And we don't just do it with people, we do it with the fandom. This is why people go to conventions and are slightly disappointed that they didn't do everything, because they're trying to do what other people have done without realizing that they're only showing you the good parts. They're not showing you the 3 hours they stood in a line. They're not showing you where they got food poisoning because they ate fucking leftovers 4 days old. They're not showing that stuff, and it's the same with people. You can't trust everything that you're seeing. Now, even if everything that you are seeing is true, even if all of it is 100% accurate representation of the person and the facts, it's the things you're not seeing. It's the things that are being cut out. It's such a minefield that you just do not know who you are dealing with. You really, really don't. And we all forget that, especially when we give them this supposed authority, this importance that comes from something as trivial as some numbers on a page. The bigger the follower count, the more trustworthy a person must be, right? Wrong. Obviously wrong. Numbers, followers, subscribers, and a fan base, none of these are good metrics for whether a person is good, is moral, is ethical. But yet we seem to treat them as they are. Now, we've all done it, where you make a point on twitter.com and people start responding and they say something you don't like and you think, who the fuck is this? And you click on their profile and see they've got 13 followers and immediately you go, well, fuck what you think. I don't care anymore. It's instinct, it's habit. And it's honestly, it has elements of truth to it, because somebody with 13 followers coming out with a huge sort of attack on you, as you can perceive it, is very different to someone with 1,000 followers or even 10,000 followers, because that brings more people in. And this numbers game is always a danger, because everybody seems to equate a big following with this. And having a big following is a very slippery slope. You see, people run this thing as a business. They put on a character, they put on a display, and the bigger they get, the more business that is, the better it is for them. But that means that the more numbers they have, the bigger they get, the more they've got to fight to defend that. The more they've got to lose. So they defend themselves bigger. They hide things better. You know, if some random 1,000 subscriber YouTube channel turns out he's an abuser and he disappears, he's not losing that much. But if a YouTube channel that's been running for a decade and has multiple millions of followers turns out he's an abuser, ooh, there's fallout from that. There's big time fallout. And there's time lost, and there's money lost, so people tend to hide that shit, which means the bigger someone gets, I'm not saying there's more chance that they are an abuser, obviously, but there's more of a need for them to hide it, more of a need for them to manage what it is you're seeing. And just because someone has this number doesn't mean we should be letting them off the hook. I mean, at the end of the day, at a certain point, some people are too big to fail. Some people, it doesn't seem to matter what they do. They will always have their fans. And it makes me wonder, like, well, how many followers do I need to be able to kill someone and get away with it and have people defend me? Because surely there must be a number out there. And it doesn't help that these numbers can so easily be weaponized. So as I just mentioned, I do believe that there is a number of followers that you can have that allows you to get away with the most reprehensible things, or the most violent, disgusting acts. And if you think, no, that's not true, if you sexually assault someone, if you consort with known pedophiles, then it doesn't matter how many people like you. You will go to jail. Ladies and gentlemen, your presidential candidate. Need I say more? Essentially, there is always going to be a certain number that once you reach, you are basically untouchable. And sure, the people you see online, they're not going to reach that level, obviously, but they might be doing the same crimes. And I mean, a fan base, a willing fan base, is a great infantry. They are a great fucking source of people that will go out and defend you. And they'll come, and the more numbers you've got, the more chances you've got that people will be coming out to fight to the death to defend you, because defending you is like defending themselves. Because when you build up something like this, when you know, for instance, that you're a bit of a shitty person with a shitty past, but you need to hide that, you can court the right people. You can give off the right feeling, the right vibe. You can start trying to cater to a certain subset of people that you know will defend you. Now, do I need an example of that? Yes, I do. Do I have one? Of course I do. Russell Brand. This is a man who used to be a funny British sideshow, some Dickensian fucknugget who was just a bit of an oddball, but mostly he's a stand-up comedian who fucks a lot and does drugs. Ha ha ha. Only he's not. He has a history of sexual assault. He has a history of covering that up and victim blaming. And when he knew that this was about to resurface, when this was going to come out, what did he do? Well, about a year prior to that, he started courting the alt-right. He started making conspiracy videos and basically becoming a figure in that community, so that when these allegations came out, he had a fan base that was very used to the idea of the media is lying, they're scared of what I know, they're trying to take me down. This is how the numbers work. This is how people escape responsibility. And more importantly, they do this deliberately. Okay? Look at Tommy Robinson. Look at Lawrence Foxx. People know how this works, and they are weaponizing it now. Which means even less can you trust what you see online. In fact, the whole idea of numbers and follower counts being like a trustworthy metric of someone is the complete opposite. It's more likely that someone with 100,000 subscribers is going to be way more shitty than someone with 30. That number just came to my head. I'm not trying to make a point here, but whatever. I think this all comes down to the simple point of don't meet your heroes. We all have an element of fantasy in our head. We all build up an image of what we're looking for and what we want a person to be. And it's very rare that anybody ever meets that. And they don't have a responsibility to meet it. They really don't. They don't even know what that fucking perception is. It's down to us. It's down to each individual person to give themselves an unbiased viewpoint of what it is they're looking at. Is this person the lovely shining beacon of humanity that you want them to be? Or are they a flawed human being that has made mistakes in the past? Or are they worse than that? And essentially, you are gambling every time you believe the spin, every time you believe just the good stuff, the positive stuff. You're gambling that you're right about that, because if you're wrong, then we run into problems. It's all too easy to base your sense of self-worth in this, as we've mentioned, and attach yourself to this. That's why people do get so fucking vehemently violent about their fandoms and whatnot. It's because they feel like it's an attack on themselves. And it's easy to get drawn into that. It's easy to look at someone and feel that they are the ideal template of what you want to be and what you want to see. And when it turns out they're not, it fucking hurts. And it feels like you made a mistake. You're broken. And essentially, you have made a mistake. You forgot that what you're seeing is a fucking performance. What you're seeing is not the truth. It is a version of the truth. It is something that we all just show. I personally try to be as honest and genuine as possible. I know that's funny because I put this on to make my points, but everything I say, everything I do, I try and make as realistic as possible, and that's how I've been able to do it all for so long, because I'm not faking anything. But even then, I'm putting on an element of fakery right now, because I'm putting on a character, I'm putting on a voice, I'm putting on a big fluffy costume. nothing is ever 100% the truth. And we all seem to think that just because it's got a few numbers and it's on a big website, it must be the truth. This is how misinformation has spread. And I feel like we all need to take a big fucking minute to sit down and think about whether or not that's really a good thing. The answer is no, it's not. Thank you very much for watching. Essentially, this video comes from a place of just finding it strange that people are forgetting about people, basically, and how shitty people can be. And this came from a place of, I made 2 videos in my past where I have asked for private information and gotten it. I made a video on how sexual the furry fandom is, and I gave out this bingo card and a survey, and I was shocked at how many people were giving me very private, in-depth details of very personal information. And I made another video about rating people's feet, and again, I was kind of shocked and surprised at how many people were sending me in feet pics. Now, with the former video, all of that data, when I needed to formulate it into a graph, I saved it anonymously, I did not save it with any name attached, and I deleted all of that data afterwards. I do not have access to it, because that's what I said I would do. Or did I? You don't know that. You don't know that I did that. I did, and I can give you all the assurances possible, but that's all I can do. And all you can do is choose to believe me or not. And this is the problem. You can trust me as much as you like, but I can't give you 100% confirmation. It's just not possible. Nobody who is talking to you like this through a video can, okay? So if they're making promises, you always have to act that maybe they're going to break those promises. So that's the point. It kind of rose up making those videos and seeing that happen. It kind of rose this point in me. I was like, I want to make a video about this because it's a subject that I'm not sure anybody's really thought that deeply about. And I hope that I did. But thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you would like to help support us in our move and my move to the US, which is soon, then there are a numerous variety of ways popping up on screen of which you can do that. Do it whilst you can. There is a decent chance that I'm going to have to stop that when I make the move until I have work authorization, but there'll be more details on that to follow. But thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I will see you all next week. Bye!